दर्शयामि इदं फलं मया देव स्थापितं पुरतस्तव तेन मे सफलावाप्ति भवेति जन्मनि समासहित सत्यनारायण स्वामिने नमः महानिवेदनं नानाविध फलानि समर्पयामि। ओम सुवर्णताली मध्ये मणिगणगणिते गोतान् भक्तान् च भोज्यान् च लेख्यान् अपरिमितरसान्नं तोष्यान् निधाय नानाशाकैर्वेदं दधि मधु गुडक्षीरपानियुक्तं ताम्बूलं च विष्णु प्रतिवसं महामानसे कल्पयामि। राजान्नं सुखसंयुक्तं चाकदोषमिद्धं बुधवक्षमायुक्तं नैवेद्यं नित्यताम्। नारायण स्वामिने नमः महानिवेदनं समर्पयामि। ओम देवसत्त्वात् ओम हरिः ओम पूगीफलं समायुक्तं नागवल्ली धनैरुतं मुक्ताचूर्णं समायुक्तं ताम्बूलं प्रति दृश्यतां ताम्बूल दक्षिणां समर्पयामि। छत्रं समर्पयामि चामरं वीचयामि नृत्यं दर्शयामि गीतं श्रावयामि आन्दोलिकां समर्पयामि समस्त राजोपचार भक्त्योपचार श्रद्धोपचार पूजां समर्पयामि। कर्पूरं दिव्यं मंगलं नीराजनं दर्शयामि। नीराजनं गृहाणेदं पंचवर्ती समन्वितं तेजोराशि मया दत्तं स्वीगृहाण रमापते रमासहित सत्यनारायण स्वामिने नमः। कर्पूर दिव्य मंगल नीराजनं दर्शयामि। परमं वदकं सदा सूर्यः दिवे भजच्छरादं तत्प्रासो विज्ञमो साधुभागं दत्तबिन्धते विष्णोर्य परमं वदं हर्याप्याहनन्तराय हि सर्वस्तोमोकिरात्रमुत्तमः भवति। सर्वस्याप्यै सर्वस्यैत्यै सर्वमेव तेनाप्नोति सर्वं जयति। हरिः ओम स्वामिनः सत्यमन्त्राब्दाः सत्याः सहफलाः सत्यभून्तो महान्तो निगृह्णन्तु सर्वे जनाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तमङ्गलानि भवन्तु। हरिः ओम अमोघं पुण्डरीकाक्षं नृसिंहं दैत्यसूदनं ऋषिकेशं जगन्नाथं वागीशं वरदायकं सगुणं च गुणातीतं गोविन्दं गरुडध्वजं जनार्दनं जानकी वल्लभं हरिं प्रणमामि सदा भक्त्या नारायण मजपरं दुर्गमे विषमे घोरे शत्रुणा परिपीडिते विस्तारयतु सर्वेषु सदानिष्ठ भयेषु च नामानि एतानि संकीर्त्य फलं ईप्सितं माप्नुयात् सत्यनारायणं देवं वन्देहं कामद प्रभुं लीलया विदितं विश्वं येन तस्मै नमो नमः रमासहित सत्यनारायण स्वामिने नमः प्रार्थना नमस्कार समर्पयामि ओम यानि कानि च पापानि जन्मांतर कृतानि च तानि तानि विनश्यन्ति प्रदक्षिणं पदे पदे पापोऽहं पापकर्माहं पापात्मा पापसम्भवः पाहि मां कृपया देव शरणागत वत्सल अन्यथा शरणं नास्ति त्वमेव शरणं मम तस्मात् कारुण्यं भावेन रक्ष रक्ष जनार्दन मंत्रहीनं क्रियाहीनं भक्तिहीनं जनार्दन पूजितं मया देव परिपूर्णं तदस्तु ते कायेन वाचा मनसा इंद्रियैव बुद्ध्या आत्मना वा प्रकृते स्वभावात् करोमि विद्यते सकलं परस्मै श्रीमान् नारायणायेति समर्पयामि सर्वं श्री कृष्णार्पणम् अस्तु मम सर्व अभीष्ट फलसिद्धिरस्तु अत्र ज्ञानानन्दमयं देवं निर्मलस्फटिकाकृतिम् आधारं सर्वविद्यानां हयग्रीवोपास्महे गुरुब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुदेवो महेश्वरः गुरुसाक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः एकदानिमिषारण्ये हृदयस्वनगादया ब्रह्मरक्षितरानन्दं सूते पुराणि कङ्कलु वतेतपदाः किंव्याप्ताप्तये फलवाञ्छितं तत्सर्वं ज्योतिमित्यामा कलेश महामने बोलो सत्यनारायण भगवान की जय सत्यनारायण कथा श्रावयामि
Chapter 1. Shaunaka and 8,000 other rishis assembled at the forest of Naimisharanya and asked Maharshi Suktha, the narrator of the Purana, O Maharshi, please tell us how mankind can attain salvation. Maharshi Suktha answered, even Narada Muni had asked Lord Vishnu, the consort of Lakshmi, the same question. Let me repeat what Lord Vishnu told Narada. Please listen carefully. Narada, during one of his regular journeys to various worlds, came to the earth. There he saw people suffering as a result of their past deeds. To remove their suffering and offer salvation, Narada traveled to Vishnu Loka and found Lord Vishnu adorned with conch, chakra, gada and lotus in his four hands and a garland around his neck. Narada spoke humbly, O Supreme Lord, the Savior of the destitute and the troubled, I surrender at thy feet. Lord Vishnu greeted Narada and asked, tell me what you want and I will fulfill your wishes. Narada replied, O Bhagavan, people on earth are suffering in many ways as a result of their past sinful deeds. Please bestow the grace and reveal to me as to how they can be helped. Lord Vishnu replied, mankind can rid itself of all its sorrows by performing a puja called Satyanarayana Puja. This puja, when performed according to religious rites, will bring happiness, peace of mind and health in this life and salvation beyond. On hearing this, Narada was filled with joy and addressed Lord Vishnu, O Lord, in your infinite grace, please tell me the details of the puja that you have just mentioned, how and when to perform it and who has performed it before. Lord Vishnu answered, this puja can be performed on a full moon day. One must invite his friends and relatives and perform the puja with devotion, offering fruits, ghee, milk, curd, butter, wheat flour, sugar and honey to God. After the puja is completed, he must read the story of Lord Satyanarayana and then distribute prasadam to everyone. The puja thus performed will bring fulfillment of one's wishes. Particularly in Kali Yuga, this puja can bring contentment.
Maharishi Suktha continued addressing the assembled rishis. O rishis, I will now tell you who have all observed the Satyanarayana Vrata fast. Once there lived a very poor Brahmin in the beautiful city of Kashi, plagued by acute hunger. He used to wander about in search of food. Lord Vishnu took the form of an old man, appeared before the poor Brahmin and asked, "Friend, why are you wandering aimlessly?" The Brahmin replied, "Sir, I am a very poor man, unable to bear the pangs of hunger. I beg alms. Sir, if you know a way out of this misery, please tell me." Lord Vishnu, who was in guise of an old man, replied, "O Brahmin, Lord Satyanarayana grants the wishes of all his devotees and removes their sorrows. So you should perform his puja and reap the benefits." Lord Vishnu then explained the details of the Satyanarayana Vrata to the Brahmin and disappeared. The poor Brahmin resolved to perform the puja. After a sleepless night, he got up early in the morning and went to beg alms. His mind fixed on only one thing, namely the puja. That day he got a lot of money with which he bought fruits, milk, curds, honey, and performed the puja with his friends and relatives. With Lord Satyanarayana's grace, he shed his poverty and lived a contented life. Every month on the full moon day, he performed the puja and finally attained moksha, salvation.
Maharishi Suktha continued. One day when this Brahmin from Kasi was observing the Sri Satyanarayana Vrata, a woodcutter entered his house and asked for water. Seeing the Brahmin performing the puja, the woodcutter inquired about the puja. The Brahmin, who had been bestowed with Lord Vishnu's grace, spoke. "This is called Sri Satyanarayana Vrata. One who observes this Vrata will be blessed by God. I myself have been bestowed with wealth." The woodcutter was delighted to hear this. He learned the proper way to perform the puja, ate the prasadam that was offered and went on his way.
With Lord Satyanarayana in his mind, the woodcutter resolved that he would observe the Ratha with whatever he was going to earn by selling firewood that day. He went to that part of the city where rich people lived, sold the firewood and made twice the normal profit. Pleased with his luck, the woodcutter bought bananas, sugar, tea, milk, curd, honey, and wheat flour. He performed the Satyanarayana puja with his friends and relatives. By Lord Satyanarayana's grace, he too acquired enough wealth, lived comfortably, finally attained moksha.
Maharishi Suktha continued, "O best of Hasidic, I will now tell you the story further. In the olden days, there lived a wise king by the name of Kumbha. He had mastered all his senses and always spoke the truth. He used to go to the temple every day and offer gifts to the Brahmins. His lotus-faced wife was a pure and pious woman. One day, the royal couple was performing Satyanarayana puja at the banks of the river Seva. At that time, a merchant called Sadhu said, seeing the king perform some puja, Sadhu stopped his boat, got off, and addressed the king. "O king, would you kindly tell me what you are doing with such devotion and concentration?" "O Sadhu, I am watching them in order that I may be blessed with children and worshipping the Lord Almighty."
On hearing this, Sadhu spoke humbly. "O king, please tell me how to perform the puja. I would like to observe the vrata, as I too have no children." The king told him all the details. Sadhu returned home, and with great joy told his wife that they should perform Satyanarayana puja, which will fulfill their desire to have children. He then resolved to perform the puja after the child was born. By the divine grace, Sadhu's wife Leelavati soon conceived, and in due course gave birth to a beautiful girl who was named Kalavati.
Next.
One day, Leelavati reminded her husband of his promise to perform Satyanarayana Puja. Sadhu told his wife that he would do the puja at the time of his daughter's wedding and got busy with his work. In the meantime, Kalavati grew up and blossomed into a lovely girl. Sadhu sent out messengers to find a suitable bridegroom for his daughter. One of the messengers found a good-natured and handsome boy in a Vaishya family from Kanchannagar. Sadhu found the boy to be a suitable match for his daughter and celebrated her marriage with great pomp and show. But Sadhu completely forgot about the Satyanarayana Puja and the Lord placed a curse on Sadhu. Then one day, Sadhu went on a business trip with his son-in-law. He stopped to trade in Ratnapur, which was ruled by King Chandraketu. During the time he was in Ratnapur, some thieves robbed the king's treasury and were running away. The king's soldiers followed them in hot pursuit. The frightened thieves threw all the things they had, robbed near Sadhu and his son-in-law, and escaped. Finding the things of king's treasure near Sadhu and his son-in-law, the king's soldiers thought that they were the thieves, arrested them, and brought them before the king. The king ordered them to be chained and thrown into prison because of Lord's Maya. Nobody even listened to what Sadhu had to say in his defense. King Chandraketu also confiscated all their merchandise.
Lord Satyanarayana's curse did not spare even Sadhu's wife. Some robbers broke into her house and Leelavati lost everything. One day Kalavati was very hungry and went out of the house. She wandered here and there, stopped at a house where Satyanarayana Puja was being performed. She stayed at the place until the puja was finished and ate the prasad that was offered. When she reached home, it was very late in the night. Leelavati asked her where she had been. Kalavati told her mother that she was listening to Satyanarayana Katha in somebody's house. Leelavati at once remembered her husband's promise to perform the puja and resolved to observe the Satyanarayana Vrata herself. She collected all her relatives and friends, prayed to Lord Satyanarayana to forgive their sins. Lord Satyanarayana was pleased with Leelavati's prayers. He appeared before King Chandraketu in his dreams and told him to release those two merchants from prison as they were not the real thieves. If king failed to do so, Lord Satyanarayana warned that his kingdom, wealth and children would all disappear. Next morning, the king told his counselors about his dream and ordered Sadhu and his son-in-law to be released and brought before him. The latter were frightened and stood before the king with bowed heads. The king talked to them gently and said, "You two have suffered greatly because of your fate, but now there is nothing to fear." The king returned their merchandise, gave them new clothes and gifts and bade them goodbye.
Sadhu and his son-in-law loaded their boat with riches given to them by the king and sailed homewards. Lord Satyanarayana wanted to test Sadhu further. He took the form of an ascetic with a trident, appeared before Sadhu and asked him what he was carrying in his boat. Without realizing that the ascetic was indeed Lord Satyanarayana in disguise, Sadhu laughed mockingly and said, "You Brahmin, were you thinking of stealing my things? We do not have any valuables in the boat except leaves and creeper plants." Whereupon Lord Satyanarayana replied, "O Sadhu, so be it." The god then departed in great haste and stood by the seashore.
When Sadhu went into his boat, he discovered to his horror the boat was filled with leaves and creeper plants, just as he had falsely told the ascetic. Sadhu swooned at the sight, but was revived by his son-in-law, who spoke, "This must be the curse of the ascetic. He must be a mystic. Let us go to him and ask for his forgiveness." The two merchants went to the seashore where the ascetic was mounted. He fell at his feet and repeatedly begged for his forgiveness. Pleased by Sadhu's devotion, the Lord said, "Sadhu, do not weep. You suffer because you have broken your promise time and time again. On hearing this, Sadhu prayed to God, O Lord, even Rama and other devas drowned in your Maya cannot comprehend your various forms completely. How can I, with my limited ability, comprehend your various forms? I pray according to my limited knowledge, please show me your true form and blessing.
Upon hearing this, God was pleased and granted his wishes by restoring his merchandise in the boat and disappeared. Two merchants then joyfully sailed homewards. On reaching their hometown, they sent a messenger to their wives to inform them of their safe arrival. At that time, Lilavati and Kalavati were performing Satyanarayana Puja. Lilavati quickly finished the puja and asked her daughter to do so. She then hurried to the seashore to meet her husband. Kalavati, in eagerness to meet her husband, forgot to eat the prasad and rushed to the seashore. This action of hers angered Lord Satyanarayana. He caused the boat and her husband to drown in the sea. Not finding her husband, Kalavati started weeping. All were wonderstruck at sight. Sadhu was at loss to know what to do. Thinking that it was Lord Satyanarayana's Maya, he announced to everybody that he would perform Satyanarayana Puja and pray to Lord Satyanarayana again and again. At this, Lord Satyanarayana, the savior of the sinners, was very pleased and said, O Sadhu, your daughter did not eat the prasad in her haste to see her husband, so I made him and the boat disappear. Let her go home and take the prasad and return. On hearing this, Kalavati rushed home, ate the prasad. When she returned to the seashore, she found to her joy her husband and the boat. Then Sadhu returned home happily with his relatives, performed Satyanarayana Puja on every full moon day. With God's grace, he enjoyed all the comforts in this world and finally attained salvation.
Bolo Satyanarayana Bhagwan ki jai.
Once there was a king called Kumbha who underwent a lot of misery because he refused the Satyanarayana prasad. One day after hunting, he performed Satyanarayana Puja nearby. When he reached his palace, he found that his kingdom, all his sons, his wealth and everything had disappeared. Then it occurred to him that Lord Satyanarayana was probably angry with him. He went back to the cow hut, prostrated himself before Lord Satyanarayana and performed the puja with great devotion. The Lord showered the blessing and the king regained everything he had lost earlier. He lived happily and reached Calcutta after his death. Murthy Suktha said, O holy man, I have related to you the Satyanarayana Katha which was originally told by Lord Vishnu to Narada Muni. By observing this Vrata, mankind can attain salvation. In this Kali Yuga, observance of this Vrata can lead to gratification of one's wishes. Thus ended the narration of Murthy Suktha, after which Karnaka and other cities returned to their respective cities.
Bolo Satyanarayana Bhagwan ki jai. Satyanarayana Kadayam Panchamodhyaya Samapta. Om Narayanaaya Vidmahe Vasudevaya Dhimahi Tanno Vishnu Prachodayat. Om Shivaya Namaha. Om Narayanaaya Namaha. Om Madhavaya Namaha. Om Govindaya Namaha. Om Vishnave Namaha. Om Madhujanaya Namaha. Siddhamati Kesam Padmana Damodaraya Namaha. Om Hare Krishna Namaha. Om Puja Gangamatpayami Vajapatmapayami Agnamatpayami Mana Puja Dhampada Pala Nivedanam Samatpayami. Om Pranaya Swami Janaya Mani Swaha Brahmanimat Maulatpayam Bhava Subharom Kul Harihi Harihi Om Inmaya Bhakti Yuktena Patram Bhutpam Phalanjalam Nivedanancha Naivedyam Vigrahanam Sri Ramapade Ramasahita Satyanarayana Bhavane Namaha. Punah Pujadam Yete Gandha Nakshatra Patra Pushpa Supadipa Avarana Sarva Pujaram Samatpayami Ayena Vacha Manasa Indriyeva Vidya Atmanava Sukriti Subhava Karomi Yidyate Sakalam Parasmai Sriman Narayana Samatpayami Sarvam Sri Krishnarpanam Astu Mama Sarva Amishta Falasiddhirastu. Namaskaram. Satamanam Bodhi Sata Yipura Satendriya Yishindriye Pratijitati Rojana Rojamana Sobhana Sobhamana Kalyana.
Mommy, do you like that?
Om Charanam Pavitram Visadam Puranam Tena Bhodatarati Dutani Tena Pavitrena Siddhena Bhutaha Adipatman Marajantarema Lokachatvaramachyama Pavitram Tajikatvajamanam Mahatade Amrtasyadara Bahudorohamanam Sharananno Loke Siddham Dadatu Advitnaha Paramam Padakam Dadabhasanti Surayah Divi Bhajatyuradadam Advipraso Manyabhota Dupakam Datyavandhati Vishnorya Paramam Padan Paryahapyahanantaraya Yasarvattomo Kiratram Samahak Bhavati Sarvatyapti Sarvasaiti Sarvameva Denahapnoti Sarvam Jayati Om Narayanaya Vidmahe Vasudevaya Dhimahi Tanna Vishnu Prachodayate Advitnaha Paramam Padakam Dadabhasanti Surayah Divi Bhajatyuradadam Tadvipraso Anyavosa Dupakam Dasya Vindhati Vishnorya Paramam Padam Narayanaya Vidmahe Vasudevaya Dhimahi Tanna Vishnu Prachodayate Hari Om Swami Satyamantrasaha Satyasahala Satyamundo Mahatvarivasantu Advenagana Avasthasamangalani Santu Satyaprajabhya Paripalayamtam Nayena Margena Mahimmaishaha Gobrahmanebhya Subhamatsu Nityam Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Satyanarayana. Take up the mat.
Stand in line first. Stand in line. Don't go there. Come here.
Satyanarayanam Upasmahe Nityam Satyajnananandamayam Sarvam Vishnumayam Shri Satyanarayanam Upasmahe Nityam Vasavadi Pujitam Varamunigana Bhavitam Dasajana Paripalitam Bhasamana Badare Stitam Shri Satyanarayanam Upasmahe Nityam Vaduveshadharinam Vaishajadi Karanam Kaliyuga Prasannadipurnam Matsya Kumbha Upa Dashavatara Prabhavam Shankachakrabjathastam Guru Garuda Prasadam Shri Satyanarayanam Upasmahe Nityam Satyajnananandamayam Sarvam Vishnumayam Shri